Three companies, disrupting what you know about marketing and branding. Welcome to M Squared.
Hello, friends. Welcome to another edition of M Squared. I'm your host, Dan Ryan. Joining me always, Mike Bloomfield, Technical.
What's up?
Anthony Rapp, PR Cision.
What's going on?
And our special guest, Jeff Enrage.
Hey, how are you? How you doing?
Thanks for coming on down today.
Thanks for having me.
I think he might be our tallest guest.
I might.
Yeah, he's making me feel short.
I'm used to that by now, though. Yeah, I'm usually pretty
What
tall
is
guy
it,
in the room.
6'7"?
6'5". 6'5".
Really?
Yeah.
I'm 6'2". There's no
Yeah,
way.
I'm 6'5". Yeah.
guy.
I'm short for 6'5".
He's a short 6'5".
I'm a short
Yeah.
6'5".
I'm a short 6'2", I guess.
I'm a short 5'10".
Me too.
You're around 5'10".
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, ho, ho.
As we learned earlier, that is the shape.
That is the shape. As I
You
was
set
trying to eat
yourself up for that one.
cupcakes from the refrigerator here.
Jeff Enrage. It's a classic name on the island in the music scene, right?
I apologize.
Oh, but people know. I've heard about you before. David here, who works with us, he talked about you promoting and stuff. My wife remembers shows from back in the day where you were playing as the
Yeah.
front man of your band, and then it's carried over into the promotion world, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's how the whole thing started, from me playing in the band and then just segued over to me booking all the bands.
It's interesting because if David mentioned this, which David may not have mentioned this, but so this is a podcast and show about marketing and branding.
Okay,
So I
yeah.
think one of the cool things that we never get an opportunity to do is talk to someone who's really an expert in, and I say this not in a bad way, but like the old school, like guerrilla
Right.
marketing, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the guests that we have are only digital, or they're so young that they don't know any other way and they've never
Right.
learned another way. So you really have an ability to talk to us about what it was like with the hand-to-hand marketing and combat.
Before social media.
Right.
Yeah.
Versus what
Yeah.
you're doing today and sort
Yeah.
of how it's changed the game.
The 4,000 billboards up all on one sidewalk.
Yeah, we used to literally do that.
Do
That's
not
what we
post
did.
any bills and all it is posted, right?
Yeah, that's how we started. We literally just put flyers on all the telephone poles, and we would hang outside of the schools. Now that sounds creepy saying that, but we sat outside of the schools.
You weren't
But we
in a-
were kids.
You weren't in a
I
white
mean,
van, though, right?
no,
With
right.
candy.
But we were when you're a teenager, so we were just standing outside handing out our flyers. We did all ages shows. So really, yeah, we were doing the old school, going into different places and see if a pizzeria would have our flyer up and stuff. And yeah, that's how we did it. So that's how I started. Yeah.
When you were doing this, was it mainly Staten Island? I saw on the website Lemoore.
Yeah.
Where were you promoting
Staten
for?
Island. I just sounded very Staten Island saying that too. Staten Island.
That's how I say it.
Staten Island accent is
Water.
very specific.
Staten Island, Brooklyn, Jersey. But then the band wound up playing pretty much up and down the East Coast. So that was pretty cool for us. But as far as like promoting wise, getting our name out there, we would hit Brooklyn, Jersey, and Manhattan a lot. We did that a lot. Like we would literally go with Manhattan and just give out demo tapes. So if we knew somebody big was playing, we'd go outside their show and spend our money on demo tapes and stand outside there and say free demos. And we got a lot
That's
of
an awesome idea.
we got a lot of traction that
But
way.
they all did that.
Yeah.
But
People don't know what tapes are anymore, though.
Right,
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying.
But then it was tapes. Then it
And
went
then
to the
CDs.
CDs.
Yeah.
But just think of what like a musician has today, and the kids, they don't realize how easy it is because they have YouTube, they have
Yeah.
TikTok, they have the ability to go
SoundCloud,
viral,
Spotify.
and have people hear them and get known without doing all this work. And don't get me wrong, they do work, but it's a
not as
different
much.
type of work.
It is. We went to Times Square with the Grace Foundation for the takeover that day. The kids that were handing out music, or what would have been a tape back in the day, they were handing out cards with QR codes.
QR codes.
Yeah, that's what a lot of kids
That's
do
all.
that now.
They had nothing but cards. I'm just
Yeah.
handing them out. No CDs, nothing.
Like,
Where are you gonna
it's so
play a
much
CD?
easier to go viral with that because the CD, you gave me the CD, I liked it. I didn't want to give it to my friend because I want now.
Right.
If it's hey, I listen to this on Spotify. Oh my God, throw it out on Facebook, throw it on TikTok. This band's great, and 30 people could be listening off that one person. Versus now you're handing a CD around.
Right.
That was a sneeze. I wasn't offended by what you said.
You were
I'm sorry.
offended?
Just so you know, I sneezed. I didn't.
That's funny.
For younger kids, it's better and worse in the same way. Meaning, like they have a chance to go viral very easily.
Yep.
They have all these tools, like literally on the palm of their hands. But it's so saturated now, oversaturated.
Yeah.
It's just because everyone is doing that.
Right.
So now they have to be savvy to know, because literally every band now is using their phone, so they have this easy access to the internet and social media, but they're competing with thousands and thousands of others.
And the thing too, you're competing now with people who have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Because now it's the person who has the full-time job could come home and spending an hour and a half producing, recording at home, and then releasing. He could be amazing. Where, you know, back in the day, if you weren't willing to take that risk and commit, you would go nowhere because being a musician for an hour a day wasn't getting you anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to sneeze again. Sorry.
Just keep. Are you allergic today?
It's just going to happen.
It is. It's spring.
The web, it's amazing when you think about it, like you were saying about a full-time job. Enrage, I don't want to say got back together, but had a resurgence basically because of MySpace. And then Facebook. Literally, I saw a documentary really recently with some metal band, but literally we were all sitting at home, and I got a message on Facebook on Enrage page. Some guy was basically saying, "Hey, I liked you guys when I was young. I'm a promoter in Belgium. My birthday's coming. You guys want to come up and play Belgium?" And so literally, I was sitting around going, "We haven't played Brooklyn in 10 years." And next thing I know, we're on a flight. We're going to Belgium, and then after that, it turned into going to France, and then doing festivals. And so it's crazy. It's all because of the internet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Europe loves American music. Okay? They love it.
And we love European music. There's some amazing band. Hell yeah. Funeral for a Friend.
I'm not cultured like you are.
But they're into us. Yeah.
I was going to say, going back to the cassette thing, Andy Monfried, who I've mentioned a couple times on here, he's one of my first clients when I came out. He also does a lot of work with the Advance for targeting, etc. But when I first sat down with him and he tried to explain to me what social media was, because that was when it was new, because I'm old enough to know, he goes, "Rap, the best way I could describe it is I'm a Grateful Dead lover. I'm a Deadhead." He goes, and to me, social media is going to be the evolution of when all of us used to stand out in parking lots and pirate their tapes. He's every Grateful Dead fan, because I'm not a Grateful Dead fan. Every Grateful Dead fan at the time when we were kids would copy the cassettes and hand them out. And no one wanted to buy them. They would just hand them out. And I feel like that is the easiest way to describe to you what social media is going to be. People are just going to be handing things out digitally to everyone, and it's going to make everybody come together. And I was like, okay, but now you're saying the cassettes again. So it just reminded me of that analogy that he gave me.
But they were one of the first bands to ever record every single show. Every bit of music that they did, they recorded it. So each show turned into this different following of a thing, and it turned into that social network of
everyone had it.
When did you get Winterland? When did you get which?
And that's what he was saying. How it just evolved into this social currency.
They were savvy with that. They were really good with that. Yeah, and that's how a lot of the original thrash metal bands, like Metallica, that whole era. Those bands all did the same thing. They just had all their friends tape trade and make a copy of a copy. And for lack of a better word, that's how it was going viral back then.
Yeah, that's what I'm
tape
saying.
trading.
That was
until LimeWire.
Yeah.
No, Napster.
Napster. There you go.
Until he decided
Napster
to kill
was great.
that.
Yeah.
Well, you got to test the waters.
Napster was great, but Lars Ulrich killed it.
He never likes the drummers.
Drummers are assholes. You're not a drummer, are you?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No.
They're
Can we
elitists.
curse?
They're elitists. You can curse.
Drummers are the.
Bringing it back
Don't
to
forget, you got to do a rant.
Bringing it back.
I
I'm
think
trying
you
to
just
work on it. Bringing it back to what. That was a good analogy. That was good. You don't have
thought
any
it was a good
anecdotes.
analogy.
This guy,
Yeah.
all he's got is good hair, this kid. He's got nothing else going for him.
That's what a front man needs.
That's it. That's true.
Right?
He's the talent.
I'd like to hear you sing. You could sing?
I cannot sing.
Okay.
I'm horrendous.
I cannot sing.
No.
So, what type
I'm
of front
tone
man
deaf.
are you? Just going to come and stand on stage?
Yeah, I'll pretend to play the bass.
So
Playing bass ain't that hard either.
talk about how the internet has changed what you're doing now, right? Because you just said before we turned on the microphones that now you're back to actually doing shows. You're also reinventing the way you're marketing. I want you to talk about how, and again, you said this and I may be incorrect, but you're basically marketing these bands for free, not your own. I'm talking. So you're bringing bands to locations all over the island, all over Brooklyn, and you're not charging.
I don't
to do
charge
this.
them. No.
So talk about all of that. There's two questions. Front loaded.
Yeah. Basically, right now, everything I do, now I don't do the old school flyers anymore. I don't do that anymore. But I spend a few hours, like I look at it like my job. Like every day I get on my phone, have my cup of coffee, and I'm on my phone booking and promoting and basically marketing these bands and freelancing myself to the different bars and venues on the island.
Right.
So every day, basically, I get up and I'll hit up Dave, our mutual friend Dave,
Right.
and I'll message him like I booked, hypothetically, I got these 10 shows lined up. I need some flyers made. And then once I get the flyers, I send them to the bands, and then we all share them on social media. But to be, again, like we were saying, you have to be ahead of the game. Like I can't just share the flyer. I'll put music behind it or a funny video with it because that'll keep people's attention. I learned a long time ago that if you're just promoting, be it your band or your business or whatever, on your social media, And you're only doing that, it becomes white noise. People don't want to pay attention. So I almost look at it like, again, like I look at it, I know it sounds crazy, but like part of my job now, like I'll look for funny reels and memes and things like that and make sure I'm posting that. And then in between, suddenly there's a flyer that's adjacent to the meme that I just shared.
Right.
And I know it sounds silly, but literally it's something I have to do to keep people's attention. And so far it's worked.
You got
Hard to
3
stop the
seconds.
scroll. Yeah.
3 seconds.
Exactly. So in a way, it keeps people, to me, it keeps people engaged because if I share something funny, then they'll see the next flyer come up.
I think what's fascinating about it is like you're creating your audience again, right?
Yeah.
It's just a different way to create an audience.
Right.
Music scene on Staten Island isn't what it was in the 90s.
No.
And to be able to get to pack out a bar for live music like that, it's different. It's
Yeah.
special. And you're bringing your audience back to the bars and back
Yeah.
to that music scene.
I'm very fortunate because my audience they're in their 20s and 30s, some 40s, millennials and Gen Z. That's even though I'm Gen X. They're my audience who comes to the shows, millennials and Gen Z. So I'm pretty lucky with that. Maybe it's because I'm doing it on the phone so much, but I've always tried to cater to younger bands. I really don't book a lot of older bands. So in fact, if a band hits me up, usually if they're of a certain age, they'll say, hey, we do Led Zeppelin and Tom Petty and Alice in Chains and the Beatles. Not to be disrespectful to them, but you know what? I could promote this on my page all day. My audience isn't going to come.
No.
So I'll pass them over to someone else that I know will book them. So really, I'm 90% of the stuff I book are younger bands now, which I'm very fortunate. Yeah.
To your point, that's the ultimate conversion, right? Because you're saying bringing people out. So it's not even 90% of the people we talk to, they're trying to get a click, or they're trying to get a funnel, or they're trying to get a lead, or they're trying to make someone who's already uninterested just click and follow. You get them all the way down the funnel to the point where they show up at a venue, which is like the ultimate conversion because people don't do anything. You get them to click or scroll or stop.
Yeah.
So to get them to show up.
So I'm trying to get you. Most people on the internet, they're trying to get them to follow them and stay with them. I'm trying to get them out of the house, which is difficult, especially for younger people.
But keeping the 20 and 30-year-old from when you were performing to now being a promoter is the same. It's that same kind of journey. And now it's coming back to you performing again. So it's become circular, staying around the same audience, which is really hard to do because people age out, they change, music changes, right?
They forget.
Yeah. But ironically, it's for younger
they
people,
change,
they don't
so
go out
whatever.
as much. Younger, obviously, when you get older, you don't go out as much. But younger people, just their social habits, they don't hang out as much.
The generation, the whole generation, the younger generation, it's different.
It's different. They have so many choices and things to do.
You don't have to meet somebody at a bar.
They have an AI girlfriend.
But it's not even that. It's a lot of them don't even care about meeting someone. Like when we were growing up in our 20s, all we wanted to do was go out and meet someone.
Yeah.
And now I talked to Nicole's brother, who's 23, and I'm like, you gonna go out? No, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
If I meet someone, I'll eventually happen. I'm like, you don't leave the house. How you gonna meet them? Oh, it'll happen at some point. They just don't
not a
care.
priority.
It's not a priority. A priority them staying home, playing games, yelling at each other. We had to go out and play Manhunt and actually leave the house.
Right.
They
Our kids are
socialize
screwed. My
by
kid's
never
screwed.
leaving.
It's weird watching kids play today. Like our kids get home, do their homework, you go to karate or force a sport, get outside, and then when they come home, they get on the iPad and they start playing Roblox and Minecraft with their friends, and they're in third grade. They're all in this group chat playing video games together and yelling at each other, and it's the best thing in the world to them.
And then the other thing that's so different than it was is think about it. All right, when we were growing up and we were playing Super Nintendo or any game, we wanted to play.
Right.
We were fighting to take the controller, right? Now they don't want to play. They want to sit there and watch
people
someone play.
Right.
They
Twitch.
want to go on YouTube, go on Twitch, watch it. And I'm like, it's absurd to me because I'm like, how is that fun? I want to play.
And
But
every
that's
per-
their community, though, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
You're right.
it's not just them watching somebody on Twitch, it's thousands of people.
Yes.
And they're communicating with each other. So that's their social interaction.
But they watch on YouTube as well. So at that point, you're not really talking.
Yeah.
It's different.
That's your next platform. Get on Twitch.
I
Start
know.
promoting shows.
That's the next thing.
But
I have
isn't
to do.
Twitch like it rose during COVID? But isn't it dropping because they've implemented?
Gary V is trying to reinvigorate it.
Is he?
He's trying his best. He has new programs that are exclusive to Twitch. He's promoting on Twitch, so we'll see if he can
Well, I
save
think
it,
the
but-
problem with Twitch, like the good thing with Twitch, it was very easy to monetize.
Yeah.
But the problem is like dinging a lot of the like the bad stuff, the OnlyFans were all heading there,
went there.
and they dropped the whole platform,
Right.
Because going back to the younger generation doesn't want anything to do with that,
Right.
And that kind of killed it, and so they're trying to bring it back.
Gary's trying.
OnlyFans people playing video games?
No, it was like
they-
OnlyFans content on Twitch.
And they were playing games, and it was crazy.
Although that's an interesting concept.
But that's happening now too.
Naked video games.
They're going on the OnlyFans people are going on Twitch
The
just
other
and literally
platforms,
just playing video games. But I guess
Seeing wherever
it's-
they can pick up
it's-
money.
It's synergetic, yeah.
Join my Patreon. So I'm gonna start one now.
Star Wars Patreon.
So what's next? You're getting back out there. You're getting in the studio.
Yeah, so what I'm hoping is right now, like I said, I'm very fortunate because I have a following of the kids. They're 30. I call them kids, but who are coming to the shows. What I'm hoping is that they'll follow me once Enrage starts playing again.
Okay.
That's what I'm banking on. Enrage has also been very lucky that whenever we do play, we've always had people who are younger than us. We're getting older, but we always had our crowd was always 10 to 15 years younger, and thankfully keeping the older fans too. So I'm hoping now that when we play the next couple of shows, when that starts again, I'll have a lot of these people who've been coming to the shows that I book. Maybe they're just going to come because they feel like they have to show up, or they think I won't book them. But I wouldn't do that.
Fair enough. Well,
Don't tell them you won't do
But
that.
talk
This
about
way
that.
they
I
come.
should tell them I'm not going to book you anymore unless you come see Enrage.
Talk about how you're not getting fees from venues to book artists.
Right.
It's the most interesting model I've ever heard.
Yeah, so basically, make a really long story short, I started booking the shows from being in a band, and we started off as kids, and we realized we were getting ripped off. Like we said, during the 90s, your average show, and this is where I sound like the old guy, get off my lawn, but the average show was about, I would say 500. This is without a national band playing, about 500 kids a show. That's a lot. It's a lot. For a local show, 500 kids a show. So we did one show, we called it Loserpalooza. So Enrage headlined, and I'm not saying this to brag, I'm saying this because we got ripped off. There was 1,000 kids who came to the show. And that was when the bars would tell us ahead of time, we weren't of 21 yet. So the bars would tell us, we're going to take a bigger cut because our alcohol sale won't be as much. So we understood that going in. But I remember, now I'm bad at math. But so 1,000 people paid, I think it was $10 at the door, and they gave us $100.
You're really bad at math, bro.
Right, yeah.
And I love the bar owner saying, we're not going to make money.
So we have to take
even though it
advantage
was,
with you.
by the way, it was a 2-drink minimum if you're under 21 for the $7 Coke that cost them
Right.
25 cents.
Exactly.
So
They were
they
charging
actually made
$7.
more
Right.
on the
They
kids
were making
drink.
money because they would tell us, again, we're
$11 bottles of water.
right. We were 18, so when they told us
Right.
our bar's not going to make money because you guys, we didn't realize that they're making money off the soda and this and that.
And I only know this because I did this.
Right. We all did this. I never performed. We did the other part. The part where they told them, but just
I
bring all the
performed
people.
too,
and don't worry.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I never performed. I just sat in the back, smoked cigarettes, and collected money.
Dock Street. You never everyone in town played Dock Street. You never
That's
played
where I
Dock
booked. I booked Dock Street for 10
Yeah,
years.
I used
yeah.
to play Dock
I
Street.
don't even know what Dock Street is. I'm sorry.
But I didn't handle all the booking. That was my friend who probably knows if he's on town, Mike Gambino, Woods of Oregon.
Yeah, I booked. So I might have booked your band.
Before he was with Woods of
Yeah.
Oregon, we were in the band together.
I did Dock Street. Yeah, 10 years. It was I think it was 16 to get in, and
Yeah, it was. I can't. This was over 20 years ago. Probably about 20 years ago when we did it. We were a terrible band. It was.
I'd love to see
god-awful.
footage of you in a band.
Well,
I have it.
You started playing again, right?
No, I
I
try.
saw you picking it up.
I pick it up, and I suck compared to how I used to be.
Yeah,
I was
try.
bad then. Now I'm terrible. If you don't do it every day, it's like that's one hobby you forget.
11 minutes a day, every day, you become a master.
I don't have 11. I'd rather be 11 minutes of my business every day.
All right.
Because you're the one to say I only work about 11 minutes a day.
I don't even
anyway.
think you work 11 minutes, but that's just me.
But
I've actually never seen him work. I've seen him make phone calls, but I've never seen him work.
But yeah, no, but Dock Street.
Google
Now I'm willing to bet you've never even been to a show at Dock Street, right?
I don't even know what Dock Street is.
There you go. He was
Staten Island?
Jim Tan
Yeah,
Laundry.
yeah.
Yeah, it was on Bay Street.
Yeah, no.
He was breaking
You-
knuckles.
No,
You
Bay
did-
Street, we went to Wave Street. We went to all those clubs.
I know what
You
scene
were-
you were in. Yeah,
We were
You were
Wave.
at Below. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
Jim
but
Tan Laundry.
Yeah. I have nothing against that scene either.
Breaking
I'm
knuckles.
Italian, so that's part
Breaking
of my
knuckles.
DNA. We were into that.
Jaeger bombs.
Jaeger
bombs.
bombs. And yeah.
My new haircut.
Yeah.
Mom, where's my protein?
Pay $5 to see our buddy Moss on the record.
On the records, yeah.
But you-
he had
yeah,
records then.
I'm sure.
Yeah, Doc. So you've never been to Dock Street?
No.
Yeah.
Is it still open?
yeah.
I don't think it's. What is it now?
No, that's gone too. Amendment 18's gone now too.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's gone. It's just, I don't know what it is.
It was a restaurant upstairs, right?
It's still a restaurant. He still has the catering hall. And that's
Okay.
basically how I did business there because from what I understood, he was actually on the up and I just became a teacher at the time. So I wasn't tenured. So I remember when I got the gig there, and this is like I was saying before, everything I learned about booking, I always booked young bands. So Dock Street was strictly 21 and younger. So that became like my niche of booking young bands. And they were straight with me. They said, listen, if you want to do 21 and younger, again, we're going to take a bigger cut at the door. But they were straight there. I just said to them, I said, look, it's your business, but I can't be here if you're going to serve underage. I'm a teacher. I don't want to be like, and they were like, we don't want to lose our catering license because we gave a kid a Jack and Coke. So we actually...
I've definitely never been to any establishment that's done that.
No, they didn't serve.
You never
They
went to
didn't-
Real McCoy?
Never. No, I don't know what that is.
That's where Pier 76 is.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the Real McCoy. That
Yeah.
the bartender there, he would serve. I think I saw a fetus having a drink there. It was,
Well, that's what I'm saying. I only know the bars that would serve
and
anyone.
Blue Lounge would serve
Right.
wingers.
Yeah.
That was like
I don't know anyone
No,
doing
but
the
Dock
right
Street
thing.
did it. I gotta say, Dock Street didn't. No, like again, because I didn't
Yeah,
want to.
he's saying they did the right
They
thing.
did
Right,
the
they
right
did the
thing.
right thing, yeah,
and we
yeah.
actually wound up making money because the kids were so young. The parents would start coming in. So the parents, they would come in, and I, for a while, I wasn't charging the parents. So I said, to show them that it was safe. Come on in now, come in. Because they're seeing their kid playing a bar on Bay Street.
Right.
So I said, no, you guys can come in. So the parents would come down to the bar. They're buying espresso martinis and yada, yada, and they're drinking and drinking. And then they're bringing their uncle this and son. And now next thing, the bar's getting packed. And so we actually...
You got to get 20% of the bar, 50% of the door. That's how you got to do it. You got to
Yeah.
broker these deals in advance.
I wonder if we took Rap's cell phone away, dropped him on Bay Street, and told him to walk home.
I would not know.
he
how to
would
get
not
that.
get home.
I wouldn't get that.
He
I
could
wouldn't have
do
no
it.
idea. I didn't know how to get home from St. George Theater the other day. I was scared.
Oh my god!
I didn't know where I was. Even my wife was like, "Where are we?" I don't know. We
From
gotta
your
go.
house, can you get to see?
Yeah, I can get that.
You could do
And I can get to Moss's
I'm
house.
looking
I
for
can
a
get to your
photo.
house. I can't get here. But I put this in navigation.
Dock Street.
That's Dock Street, yeah.
Look at
I
you.
probably booked that show. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. It was,
That's great.
Look at those rosy
Show the
cheeks.
camera. I can't see the Zoom. I'll send you the photo. How about that?
That's funny.
Those rosy cheeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Now is that
So what were
because
some
you
of
so
the other
excited or
like
so
what,
drunk?
what were some of the other old time Staten Island spots that you guys used to play and perform?
That
at?
we used to play or I used to book?
Both.
Let's see. The Wave.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, the
How
Wave.
about the
we did
Caves?
both. The Caves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I booked and I played at the Caves. Trying to think. Red Spot. That was a big one. Did you know about Red Spot? 'Cause I did-
That's my wife mentioned that one earlier.
Wait, Red Martini Red or
No, that too. That's the Hop Shot.
That's Hop Shot now,
But
yeah.
the Red Spot was really cool.
where was that?
On Bay Street. It was just too big. The Real World filmed, I think, their first season. One of the bands played there. One of the guys was in the band. It was huge. You walk in, it was like a 1950s bar, and then it was like an industrial goth new wave room, and then a stage where bands played in this massive backyard, and that was the coolest spot. Yeah.
There's nowhere like that.
No. You couldn't have a place that big anymore.
You're
I mean, it's
describing
huge.
like Webster Hall to me. That's what I feel like. Like you walk into Webster Hall and you're like.
But
here's
there
where-
was a time on Staten Island where people from Manhattan and Brooklyn, they were coming to
Coming here.
Staten Island. They were like to go to the Wave and to go to the Red Spot. They were doing it. They really were coming here.
Lemoore is closed too, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
gone. What was that? 60 something. That was right by the bowling alley I worked at. It was over in Bensonhurst.
Yeah. For a hot minute, they had Lemoore on Staten Island. The guys owned it. They brought it to Staten Island. It
Did they?
Yeah, I didn't do it.
That's
Didn't
where
do it.
Carrie's cousin used to play.
Typo negative. Yeah, I've seen them there.
Yeah, so Enrage did a lot of shows over there. I didn't book there, but I did. I mean, we played a ton of shows.
Lemoore was fun. Small though. And then you like CBGB's obviously gone.
Yeah.
All these.
Lemoore turned into something else. Like
I think it's a gentleman's club now, but I'm not sure.
no, it was like 15 years ago or something. I remember seeing.
Oh, the Warehouse or something. Yeah.
I remember seeing like Black 47, like Irish punk bands that were coming through. New
Yeah,
York at the time.
maybe. Yeah, I know they
Irish
tried.
punk bands.
Yeah.
Like 4 of them.
There's more than 4.
Flogging Molly.
What's one?
Street Dogs.
Street Dogs are good.
I love Street Dogs. Yeah.
Street Dogs, the original singer from the Dropkicks.
Yeah.
Dropkick Murphys. Everybody knows the song from The Departed.
If you heard it, you
Do you know who Martin Scorsese is?
Yeah, he's a friend of mine actually. No, yeah, I know. He's my paisan.
Martin Scorsese hates Marvel movies.
He does.
Yeah, but he made the first rockumentary ever.
Which one?
About the band, right?
Band,
Yeah.
The Last Waltz.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
One of the best pieces of cinematic history and one of the best shows of all time.
Never saw that. Based on an audience of one, Dan Ryan.
Yeah.
Based on the world.
Based on the world.
Cultured.
Based
Go
on-
get cultured.
Go get cultured. Whatever.
I almost
Do you even
won.
know who the band is?
Reel it in. I
What
don't care.
band?
The band.
They're called the band.
No.
The name of the band's the band. That's asinine.
No, it's not.
Do they
Everybody's
wear the
band.
shirt of the band
I do.
when they see the band?
Who are you with? The band.
That's exactly how it started.
That makes sense.
That's how it started. They played for everybody. They played for Dylan. They played for everybody that was basically in the show. They played for Clapton. They played.
I'm with
for,
the band.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
They started with Ronnie Hawkins.
I like saying
the
that. I'm with
Hawk.
the band.
The band.
Who are you with? I'm with the band.
Yeah.
We're in the podcast. That's the name.
With the podcast.
Go with the podcast.
I really do a rant. You wanted
don't
him to
have a
do a
rant.
rant. No,
Yeah,
rant.
I didn't have a rant prepared.
But David wanted you to do a rant.
He wants you to do it.
he wants me to do a
Talk
rant.
about
You
inflation.
could rant
Talk
how
about inflation?
Talk about congestion pricing.
No.
Talk about what's some
It's got to
other
be something we can give
Republican thing
value
you
to.
got.
It's got to be something we can give value. All right, so we'll do it. I'll make it up. We'll figure it out.
you could rant how you finally got to come out to lunch with me and witness that.
But no, but that's not providing
eat?
value upon it.
Did you eat it?
It
Did
made
you
me
just
nervous.
watch?
It made me nervous. See, this is what happens. We get away
Wait.
from the core value of the show.
Do we even have David anymore? Did he go
People-
doing your meeting?
He fell over. He's like,
All right, let's do a rant.
All right, we'll do a rant. We'll see what we got. I'll call this
Now,
up.
for today's Raps Rant. Raps Rant.
That's metal.
That's why he wanted you to hear it. And now he made that.
Yeah.
Yeah, supposedly. I don't know. He says he made it in his basement. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I feel very special that he did that for me. So thank you to David.
He even
once
got
again.
a pinch harmonic just for you at the end.
He did everything. Everything's on him. See, there you go. Picture of Almighty. All right, so the rant. What do we got? So typically the rant, I'll go back. The rant used to be just what they were talking about, going to lunch, nonsense. But then we realized after we had done so many podcasts that we need to provide a little value. So I tried to do something where you give a tip or something that we could talk about that makes sense. Usually I'm prepared.
Okay.
So today I'm not, but we're going to go anyway. So it actually is a rant. So my rant today is going to be something I actually dealt with on a call. So a lot of organizations that we deal with, I'm sure that you guys deal with as well, they need more than, so I own a marketing company, just so in case you didn't know that. So one of the things that they need more than marketing in a lot of cases, or more than public relations, or more than management, is they need a quarterback that can coordinate multiple things. Right?
Okay.
So you're dealing with nonprofits or even large companies, smaller companies and nonprofits specifically, and you guys would probably agree with that. But someone that can ease the burden of C-level leadership, whether that's the executive director or the CEO, whoever it is, to be the conduit between their vision and what gets executed. So great conversation today with someone who hopefully they become a client, but that was almost more important to them than the content of the program we sent them. So they loved the communication proposal. They were like, Rap, this sounds great. This is exactly what we need. However, can we focus more on making me less involved, because it's killing me day to day, like being the only person doing it. So I found it interesting that this gentleman said this, but a lot of companies do that and say that. So I guess the rant is, what are you guys seeing, and even in your world? So you said what's changed for you, the way you're doing business, the way you're marketing. Are you seeing that you're more involved or less involved now that it's gone digital? Are you seeing that, could you use someone as an intermediary to handle day to day, or what are your thoughts on that?
I get too OCD about, I have to do it myself.
And listen, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I have to do it myself. And sadly, and I don't want to knock the bands, I feel like they just, a lot of them don't promote as much as they should.
Okay.
And if I don't do it, they're not going to do it. Or maybe now they're used to me doing it, or they're figuring Jeff's a promoter, that's his job, he should be doing it, which is true.
Right.
But in my mind, again, we're talking about from the old school of where we come from. If I just tag the 5 band members, all they have to do is hit share. It's literally all
they're
they have to- and they're done. And so many of them don't do it.
Don't do it.
I'll look at my phone. I'm like, how are they not sharing the flyer? I'm like,
Why don't they care?
why? Literally, just that's it. And they can walk away and do whatever they want to do, and they don't do it. And that baffles me. So I can never. I have to be involved. And I feel if I'm not, then no one. Sometimes they just spite, like I'm not doing this. Let me see. and I can see, wow, they're really not. They don't care that no one's coming to the
But
show.
yet they expect
but
when
you could have a quarterback and still, you could have that individual and still be involved.
Right.
And just be able to give yourself time to go do your own craft. It's just being able to find that person or the right communication style back to you that's going to make you feel comfortable, and also know that person is checking off the boxes to satisfy what you feel is priority
done.
and standard.
Yeah.
And
every band should have one guy in the band or girl who just, they're the person who's taking care of the social media stuff. If not everybody, at least one person. I know like a lot of them just want to concentrate on the music and the art, but you need that one person just to, and you can just hit the share button. It's really not, but also a lot of bands, they're completely content with, we were saying before, 1,000 kids a show, 500 kids a show. They're completely content like playing in front of 10 people. And they think, oh, this is great. There's 10 people here.
Because they didn't have to do anything, right?
They got stage fright.
They think it's fine if as long as they play well, which they do, but they think, oh, it's not bad. 10 people showed up, and I'm
Well, that was probably the first time they were out of the house that month. That's why. They're one of those guys. Oh, we're out of the house. The sun. Hey, $100.
Vitamin D.
$100.
So why would they? My thing is like, why would they be sharing this flyer every day? Because all they really want to do is 10 people. So yeah. So that's unfortunate.
But what happens when they're not sharing the flyer and they show up to the gig and no one's there? They're coming at you.
Yeah,
So
But I tell them what I
can't
do
go both
is
ways.
I have a mantra, and I share this to all the bands. Basically, I tell them how they get paid. Well, again, because I don't take a cut, so I'll tell the bands, you get paid by the amount of people that you bring.
Right.
So if you're bringing 50 people, you're going to walk out with $400. That's after the first 10. So you're going to walk out with $400. And so if you bring 4 people, but they're okay.
You owe them 6 people's worth.
But there have been shows where literally I have to pay I have a door girl that I hire. And so we need the first 10 people to walk in the bar, we'll go to her. And so she gets paid $100 just to collect the money. And literally there's been some shows where I have to like, here's $40 because the band's didn't bring anyway. God. But then there's other shows, obviously. I'm doing this long enough where thankfully.
Yeah, but there's always going to be a hit and a miss in any industry.
Yeah.
Just
All right, so but you're not taking a cut.
Right.
Are you drinking for free? We got to try what you're up to. Are
I
you
don't
drinking, eating for free?
I drink while I'm working. I don't drink. I want to.
Yeah, but no, you've worked out a deal. If you go to the hop shop, you now just eat and drink for free.
No, they'll give me a couple.
bartender.
Well, they give me a couple of drinks for free at the hop shop.
We're just trying to figure out because there's got to be something you're making.
The hop shop, the hop shop is the only place where I'm not bartending. They basically hire me to bring in entertainment. That'd be because I'm not behind the bar and I'm actually getting paid at the hop shop. I'm really cautious about drinking too much because
Craig and Carmine are smart, so they must know they got something good that they're paying you to do it.
and it's funny. I never met either of them.
They're like the wizard.
Right,
You don't need to meet them. As long as they're pulling the strings, I promise you it'll be good. You'll get a good product.
90% of my stuff I deal with Mike, 90% and Anthony, and I've known Mike forever. So basically, I remember my first time doing something at the hop shop where I wasn't behind the bar and I got paid flat and they would give me free drinks. And after a while, I just thought, this isn't professional. I'm standing getting a little sloshed.
Right.
So maybe at the end of the night, once I'm done paying the bands, I'll have a drink. I'll do that. Or if someone wants to buy me a drink, I don't want the bar to lose money. So I'll do that.
You'll accept that.
I'll accept it. Sure. Yeah. But yeah.
Dang accepts drinks so at 10:30 in the morning.
All day.
All day.
Any day.
I'd like to buy you a drink right now.
Sure. Let's go.
David, mix up a
I think
cocktail.
you're going to in like an hour, aren't you?
Make up a...
But the other places I book, I just get paid by what I'm making as a bartender.
So,
Okay.
my last question.
Bring it
You're
home.
saying
Bring it home.
People are handing out cash at the door.
Right.
What about this cashless world we live in? How do you account for that? Are people trying to Venmo you when you walk
Yeah,
up? Do you
they
accept
are.
that?
No, it's got to be cash.
Wow.
It has to be cash because that's how I paid the bands too. Yeah, that's how I
Interesting.
paid. Yeah, so it's $10 to get in when I do a show. 90% of the shows I do are $10 to get in, and the first 10 goes to my door girl, and then after that the bands keep everything.
That's great.
Yeah, sometimes if I know I put in an extra promotion, or if I took out an ad out for something, then I'll just take my money back that I put into it. But no, I don't take anything from the door. To me, it's incentive for the band.
So this is not a way to get rich. So like,
No.
what's in it for you?
No.
No,
I'm
I'm not asking
Love
you
for the music,
selfishly.
man.
I'm
No,
just-
no, actually,
But
this
like,
is what
why
I-
are you investing time and effort? I get it. So you're getting paid back for what you invest. So fine.
I'm making enough money that I could. This is what I do now. So basically, from my bartending as a bartender,
Right.
I'm making enough money. Right, and you got to remember, at my age as a full-time bartender now, I'm competing with a 23-year-old who. I'm handsome. I'm not as pretty as a 23-year-old girl behind the bar working at District or something. So what am I going to offer?
So that's
what
kind
I
of
mean?
the package.
So when a place calls me, they're not going to normally call a guy my age. Let's get this middle-aged dude with the pot belly to come down because he's going to bring us money. So this is what I have to offer. So that's why they call me, and that's how I make my money. So as a bartender, really, I know my worth, but this is what I bring to the table. And so I make enough where, as a bartender, from my tips, I'm doing okay. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And the reason being, another reason why I'm not taking money from the place is from the door, really, because in the long run, it still benefits me because my reputation now is, Jeff doesn't take money from us. So I want to play for Jeff.
Right. Correct.
Jeff's not going to screw us over. Hopefully, that's what they're saying. I'm sure. I always say, as a promoter, it's like being a teacher in a way. Like being a teacher, you're inherently not cool because you're a teacher. Meaning when you go, oh, I had Altieri, he's cool. Right. Oh, I had Mrs. So-and-so, no, she was cool. So the implication is inherently you're not supposed to be cool. And you always remember that one teacher that you liked, right? The one teacher who was a cool teacher. Because inherently you're not supposed to like a teacher. In this world, the promoter is the bad guy. So even though I come from the world of being in a band and playing in bands and knowing what it's like to get screwed over, I could say that over and over to the bands, hey guys, I'm one of you. But as soon as your name is the promoter, you're the enemy to some extent. So I go out of my way to show that I'm not trying to take advantage of them. And that way I hope my name has become reputable. And therefore it does benefit me because if I have a good reputable name, people will play for me again and again.
Yeah.
And that's why people call me the book at their places. Once you get a bad rep, that's it. You're done.
And anything, music, business,
anything.
Yeah,
So I could be on my phone all day promoting and marketing myself and doing all this stuff. Once you get a bad reputation, you're over. Reputation's really, and that's again when I was saying I have a door girl. A lot of people are like, hey, Jeff, you're 6'5". Why don't you just collect the money at the door? Why are you giving like this girl this?
Right.
And I'm like, again, because I don't want to be the jerk who goes $10. I know. Oh, I know you from high school.
Yeah, it doesn't
$10.
matter. Right. Yeah.
And
You need that separate.
This is my
And then
wife.
if there's
And
also
can my wife
some-
come in and my wife brought her girlfriend and her nephew. $10.
Right.
Now, so me, I have to be the nice guy. So sometimes, all right, no, your wife's okay, and then I feel like a jerk, but she has to pay. So my door girl, she's like $10. She doesn't care. She's not.
That's it.
She's like from you were saying enough in this world. She's not from this like rock world at all.
Right.
So she's $10.
Don't matter who you are.
Doesn't matter. So
Everybody knows Jeff. Give me $10.
the place exactly. So the place will have a bouncer, and then she's there, and she's a little pit bull. So she's great. Yeah.
Where are we learning more about what you're doing? Your social media handles. Where can people find out?
At World Enrage on Instagram, Facebook, and then Enrage in YouTube. It's really the YouTube page is really just for the band Enrage. None of my promotional stuff is on there. But I'm on Facebook a lot. But Instagram to me has been way better than Facebook.
That's the platform of choice.
That's my platform of choice. And stories, I do a lot of stories on there. That's like my main thing right now. Because I found with stories, again, we were talking about the white noise. So if I'm on Facebook going, hey, I got this coming up. Hey, I got this coming up. People will be like, every time I go on Facebook, it's you. I think a lot of people don't understand with Facebook, the way the algorithms work. It's not chronological. It's how much you're interacting with people. So if someone interacts with me about something, they're going to see me again.
Right.
But I find that if I just promote flyers all day, they can unfollow. Yeah, you're right. So they can unfollow me. The stories, you choose to look at the stories. So I do a lot of stuff for my stories. And on Facebook, what I'll do is, again, like I was saying before, I'll make a post about something controversial, but pop culture controversial. And that way people will fight with me on it. Bring them, you get it. So like the new Crow movie. So everyone will drag the new Crow movie, what the guy looks like.
Is there a new Crow movie?
There's a new Crow movie coming out.
I didn't see that.
So there's a new Crow movie coming out, right? So these are, again, this is my wheels are turning. So I'm seeing everyone of a certain age. Oh, this is garbage. This is garbage. So I'll go on there and go, I don't know. I think for the year 2024, this looks appropriate. People came at me. But I'm doing that purposely.
Right.
Knowing because now when I post my next flyer, I'm
They're
going
going
to
to see it. Right.
But I think a lot of
You
people
got
don't
a comment about do something with P. Diggy.
What did you think?
I made a comment about it too.
What did you think about the Crow 2 and 3?
Exactly. That was another
Wait, there
comment
was a
that I made.
Crow
What else I said? Exactly.
Really?
That's what I said. I was like, you guys realize there was some garbage.
He was killed in the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the second one wasn't him. That one was okay.
It was all right. Third one was like,
But I didn't know there was a third one.
Oh yeah.
it was terrible.
Well, most sequels suck.
I still watch
Boondock Saints was one of the best movies of all time.
Boondocks
And the
2 was
second one
terrible.
was like almost unwatchable.
Coming out with new Bad Boys. That's all I gotta say about that.
Wait, what, 4?
I don't know what they
Raps
called
with-
Yeah,
it.
they're doing
Or was
it.
it
Go
5
get his
now?
tracksuit on and go to
I
the
got
movie
it.
theater.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna go to opening night. Bring my kid. I'll sit him there.
Yeah.
He won't even know what it is. I'll be like, this is good stuff. Just watch this. Just watch it. You're 4 years old. Be quiet. You'll love it.
I did like what Martin was in that TV show. Martin, right?
Yeah.
I enjoyed that TV
Yeah, it was
show.
named
Bad
after
Boys
him.
is a great show.
It was
It's
named
a
Oh,
after
great movie.
It was.
Yeah, the first two were good.
They're all good.
Will Smith back?
Yeah.
He has to be back.
He's back
Now,
acting
listen,
after
I'm
he
sure his
slapped
price,
the shit out of
yeah,
her.
his price went a little
Everybody
bad
gets
now.
forgiven.
Yeah, no one cares. Everybody forgets.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
that?
So time to reel it in.
Yeah, that's what it means.
Jeff and Rage, thanks for coming down here.
Thank you for
Really
having me.
glad you
Appreciate
joined
it.
us.
Thank
Always
you.
fun having somebody from the island that's got a well-known name come on down.
Thanks.
Share their
I
story.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you out there, Mother Pugs, a couple other places.
Yeah.
Right?
And then when Enrage comes back, and that'll be fun too. Hopefully soon.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And subscribe.
Anyone
Yeah.
watching, follow and subscribe. Be sure to follow Jeff at all of his social media handles, which we'll post below.
M Square Podcast.
I'm Dan Ryan with the Staten Island Media Group.
I'm Mike Bloomfield with Techie Geek.
And I'm Anthony Rapp, and that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.